Hey everyone, I'm back again, and oh my gosh, it has been a massive day on the road for me. Been driving for over 10 hours all the way from the beautiful Blue Mountains in New South Wales all the way to where I am right now. I'm just here for one night only, and I'm going to be staying in a place called Ballina, which I've never actually explored before. Normally when I'm at this point on the coast, I go to Byron Bay. It's one of my favorite places to stop at and to go and explore, and I just love it there. And this time I just thought, well, I'm always stopping at Byron. Why don't I try out Ballina? So I'll report back how I go with that. I'm just going to cruise around this afternoon and then spend the day exploring before heading on the next leg of the journey up to Brisbane and then finally back home to beautiful Noosa. But today I wanted to deliver this message to you guys, which has been a really big focus of mine for a while, but always being brought back to this particular message. So I want to dive into it with you guys. Really hope that it's going to serve you. Basically what it is the title for today is that they will attempt to persuade you to do what they want, but you must stay in integrity with your inspiration. Okay, now I'm going to unpack that and really articulate exactly what I'm meaning with today's message. But basically what I'm talking about is the fact that life and the people in it are always going to be pulling at you to go in the direction that serves their needs and their wants and is in alignment with their values, right? We're always going to be feeling like we're torn in a multitude of different directions. And that's absolutely key as to why we must know what we're personally inspired by. And this is what I see too many times, and I've been down this track myself, but you guys might be able to identify how you didn't know what you wanted to do with your life. You didn't know you didn't have clarity and certainty over what was meaningful to you, what your values are, how you want to direct the course of your life. And when you don't understand what that is, what happens is somebody who is a bit more certain than you is more directive, more certain, and more pulling of you to come in their direction and help serve their cause, right? And so that is absolutely key, because you wouldn't believe the amount of people that I get to talk to who come to me who on the outward look like you'd expect them to be very fulfilled. They look like they've got the success, they've got the money, or they've got the career, or they've got the relationship, or they've got the family, or they've got the lifestyle. And you'd think, wow, like that person has really made it, right? I'd aspire to have their life. But when they come to me, they're like, okay, I feel like I've got these things, but what I don't have is any meaning, any real fulfillment. And I've got this kind of emptiness, and I feel almost guilty about it. I feel like people, on the outward, like I've got the things that I said I wanted, but why is it that I've just got this inner kind of ache, this inner kind of emptiness, and I don't know how to fulfill it? And that's the work I do. And what that really is that people have just gone about being directed by what they think they should do, the expectations of the world, the expectations of society, the expectation of their family, the expectations of their friend in their social groups, the expectations of their bosses and their work crew, whatever it is. But what they find is, oh, that's not the pathway for me. That wasn't the direction that was, gave me everything, that experience of fulfillment and meaning and purpose in my life. And now I feel like I'm being pushed to find what that is, discover what that is. And you're never too old to make that discovery, let me tell you. And basically, the problem is they haven't had integrity with their inspiration. And the number one reason why they haven't had integrity with their inspiration is because they just didn't know what that was. They didn't know what really inspired them from the inside out. Instead, they relied on motivation from the outside in. And that, my friends, is the number one reason why we lack fulfillment in our lives, and we end up living someone else's life, and we're oblivious to the fact until at some point, we can't hold it down anymore. There's a sense of emptiness that we just can never fulfill, and we must go on the journey to discover what it is that we're inspired by, what is meaningful to us, what fulfillment looks like. And I can tell you right now, it is personalized to you. What inspires me is going to be very different to what truly inspires you, right? And so we need to have a system. We need to have a strategy for identification of what the hell that is. And that is the stuff that I do. I'd love to work with each and every one of you guys. For those of you who are already part of the Limitless Potential masterclasses, then you guys have definitely been diving into each month's masterclasses with this sort of stuff where I give you access to simplified tools that you can apply to your life right here, right now. Frameworks of personal development, of human potential and human fulfillment, so that you can get out of your own way, stop being directed by the external in, and start really tapping into a life of true meaning from the inside out. All right, so all of you guys who aren't currently part of the Limitless Potential Academy and you want to be, you definitely reach out to me. I'll send you all the details. And all of you beautiful human beings who are already part of the Academy, we have our very next monthly catch-up call, just our community connection catch-up call where we all jump on video, we all connect worldwide. It is so amazing. We're having that this Sunday Aussie time, or if you're in the States, it'll be Saturday afternoon or evening your time. So definitely make sure that you're on board for that. I've just sent out an email to you guys so you've got all the details. And yeah, like I said, any of you guys who aren't part of our team and you want to be, come and join us, shoot me a message or drop me a comment. I'll send you the details. But really hoping that today's message is resonating with you guys. So just ask yourself right now, are you living your life for you, from your inspiration, what's meaningful and fulfilling to you? Or do you seemingly have that kind of empty space, that piece that's just missing, and maybe other people would reflect to you that you're quote unquote successful in some regard, but you're just not quite feeling it. You know that maybe you're born for a bit more than this, right? And if that is you, I really invite you to come and join the Academy, or at least, just take some time to build that awareness with a message like this, and ask yourself some quality questions so that you get those quality answers, and you make sure that you're aware of that emptiness and what it's attached to, right? It's attached to other people's expectations, other people's directions for the course of your life. And I guarantee you that the moment you get clear on what you're inspired by and you align your actions in that direction, you will start to feel that sense of progress in a meaningful way, and that's where all of your fulfillment lays. It's not somewhere way out in the future when you finally get something that everybody thinks that you should. It's actually in the here and now, with you being aware, transforming, and then being able to contribute in a meaningful way. Okay, so that is my message for you guys today, and I definitely want to check in with you guys and see who's been able to join me. So drop me a comment, let me know where in the world you're tuning in from, if you've got any questions or words of wisdom or any of the sort. I'd love to connect with you guys right now. So I have got Jerry in the house. Good to see you, my friend. And Julie's here, and Florence, and Vanessa, and Michelle, and Grant, and Shane. I have to agree. Grateful that this was resonating with you, Shane, and good to have you on. And Vicky's here as well. And Daryl, I love your quotes. I'm sure I'm going to love this one. Haven't even read it yet. You don't have to love the work, but you have to be addicted to the results. Boom. Tim Grover. I'll have to check him out. I absolutely agree. You want to be healthily addicted to something that has meaningful progress attached to it for you, right? So, we're all chasing a sense of happiness, but really what it is, happiness is just an emotion. On the opposite side of that emotion is sadness. You can't have happiness without sadness. So stop chasing happiness. Opt for fulfillment, and fulfillment comes from working towards something that is personally meaningful to you. And when you get addicted to creating the kind of results that are aligned with that meaning for you, then that is the life that you were born for. All right, so absolutely. And then, that working and that striving and that effort towards that life of fulfillment, it isn't work. You become addicted because you're in alignment, right? It becomes easy. It might seem like you're addicted, but it's just that you're so energized and fulfilled by what you're doing that nobody outside of you has to motivate you to start moving in the direction that you're inspired by. So I love that, Daryl. Thanks for sharing as always. And I required a loan for my life survival with all my family members. Not really sure what you're talking about there, Ahmed, but I'm grateful to have you here. And anyway, and Claire's here as well. Good to see you, and Stan as well. So I hope today's message has resonated and served you guys, and it just gets you thinking about whose life you're living, and it gets you inspired and really building out awareness and being honest with yourself about, definitely what you are driven to do with your life, what's meaningful to you, and be honest with yourself about whose life you may be living. Okay, Daryl, Tim Grover has a book called Relentless. I already like it. That's awesome. I will definitely check it out. Always looking for good book recommendations. So guys, and just on that, actually, one of my favorite books that I've recommended to you guys multiple times by now over the last couple of years is a book called Lovability by Robert Holden. Now, this particular book, if you haven't got it yet, I really recommend that you do. And I actually picked up the book a couple of years, actually it was more than a couple of years ago. It was back in 2015, and I was on my first road trip from Melbourne, the same road trip I'm doing right now, all the way from Melbourne, all the way up to Noosa when I lived there the first time. And I read that book for the first time, and it absolutely revolutionized my relationship with myself and my relationships with my partner, and everybody else in my life, really, and also the coaching and all the work that I do with my clients as well. And I'm actually just, I don't know how many times I've read this book, and I don't usually reread books, but I think it must be at least the 10th time that I'm going through this book. And by now I've actually got the audio book, so as I'm driving, I'm listening away to it. And it's just, it's really funny to re-listen to this book, Lovability by Robert Holden, and to just contemplate where I was the first time I ever read the book back in 2015, and now 5 years on, how far I've gone and how much I've changed. And when you read a book like this that has so many golden nuggets in it, you take different pieces of it and you hear it in a whole different light. And some of the pieces are wake-up calls and reminders, and others it's seemingly that you never even heard it the first time because maybe you weren't ready, or maybe you're in a period of your life where it's like so applicable. So I really recommend that you guys, just as we're on book topics, that I recommend this book to everybody that I work with, Lovability by Robert Holden. If you haven't read it, please do, or download the audiobook. It is a must for your relationship with yourself and anybody that you want love with. All right, want to experience love with. All right, So that is my message. Last little comments here. Bina, you are always welcome, beautiful. Always great to see you and have you live. And Bobby, thank you for your kind words. And I'm grateful that today's message has resonated with you. And as always, guys, I'm sending you all of my love, light, blessings, gratitude, energy, enthusiasm, everything extraordinary coming to you to wherever you are in the world today. I really do hope that it's beautiful, amazing, and extraordinary, that you're doing something super empowering. And today's message has definitely served you. Thank you so much to everybody who could join me live. You are so appreciated. So appreciate the co-creation of today's message, and hope that this message just resonates with you, with the fact that the world is going to attempt to do what attempt to persuade you to do what they want you to, right? But it's a must, it's imperative that you stay in integrity with your inspiration, what's true to you and what's meaningful and valuable to you as an individual. Okay, that is your pathway to fulfillment. And if you go their direction, unfortunately, you will live a life filled with regrets, all right? Get off that path, and remember that the number one regret of the dying is, I wish I had have had the courage to live a life true to myself rather than one that I felt was expected of me. So take that on board. Don't wait till the end to get that revelation. Decide today that you're going to get clear on what you're inspired by, align with it, and tune out the voices in the external and turn up the volume on the internal. All right, you're so welcome, Bobby. Love that this resonated, and I'm sending you guys all of my love, and I cannot wait to see you tomorrow.